Hi and welcome. We're the Weasley sisters. This is episode 171. I'm Jessica, aka Naturally Nitty.
And I'm Scarlett, also known as Alina. Today is May 3rd, and this is our weekly podcast, and it's a planning podcast. So, if this is your first time watching, you're in for a treat. If you are a regular, you know you're in for a treat. So, thanks for coming back.
So, grab your knitting and craft along with us. Yeah.
Planning podcast.
I did join again. I didn't miss out on sign-ups this term. So yay, I'm in Slytherin, but I haven't read the classes.
I'm also in Slytherin, and I read the classes. I skimmed, and I got this stuff ready for us to podcast. So we'll start out as normal with our advanced studies. So Newt, you should have already submitted your new proposal and gotten to work on it. This month is your 50% benchmark for 75 points. So get working. Owls, you can propose from now until the 22nd. So if you're doing an owl, go for it. Order of the Phoenix, starting May 9th, you can start submitting your broom through May 22nd. Your mission launch will start May 29th. So those are the events. Oh, and then there's Quidditch. So warm-up exercises from today through the 7th, and then there'll be strength training. I did not read any Quidditch. I just grabbed the schedule. So talk to your nest or seats or prides. Does Ravenclaw have nests too?
Or their dorms?
Or dorms. So talk to them because I'm sure they will have more information about Quidditch. Or even if you go to your Quidditch pitch in your
house.
Oh. Yeah, but Quidditch is a lot of fun usually, so you should really look into that. Yeah. So do you have any plans for any advanced studies?
I think because I have been... Oh, I froze. Or you froze.
I'm moving from side to side. Can you see me?
No. My computer has been crappy. I'm going to wait and see if it picks up. Because I don't know if the call recorder pause. Oh, goodness.
Is it recording it or no?
It's paused, but I don't know if it's just because my computer's freezing up or if it actually is recording it. Maybe it has recorded it. Okay, so it started up again.
Okay.
Sorry. I've had issues with my computer and it's been sucky lately. Anyways, I think because I have been on such a funk and I barely knit anything, I just worked on that blanket for the past 4 months, I'm not going to push myself and try and do an owl.
I am an owl mistress. The only owl that eludes me to this day is the detention owl.
Same.
And I'm not one to repeat things. So I will never do an owl again unless it's a detention owl.
Well, I might just to I don't know.
That's just me. Like, I already got them all. So, and like all the newts I've attempted, I've attempted like 5 or 6. And I only finished the one processing one. So I have realized that newts are not my thing. I'm just not a fast knitter or crocheter anymore, or spinner. So I realized that newts are not for me because they're just too much for my life right now. So I am not doing a newt either.
And that is okay. I might look into the order missions if I want to do like a shawl or something.
Yeah, I have. I usually do shawls for that, too. I have my friend Dawn, who's Mama Dawn on Ravelry. She's the lady who does Fairy Tale Knit. Yeah. She was knitting a pattern, a shawl pattern, like creating one, and she asked me if I would test knit it for her. So she gave me some yarn, and I just have to wait for the pattern. I think I'm going to test knit it for my order knit.
Cool. And then I'll look into Quidditch because that is, like you said, always fun. But moving on to classes, we have astronomy. The Corvus constellation represents the Corvus, or the bird, or constellation. Craft something exclusively black and or white, or slow changing gradient that moves between two very different colors. Any representations of a Corvus will be accepted.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
So
you can do non-wrap crafts on there.
Well, I'm just looking at the gradient option.
That's what I think will be fun.
Be fun with like spinning.
Yeah.
Or something. I'd have to see if I have a gradient.
I have two. I have one that goes from white to black. Okay. So it goes white, brownish, gray, and then black, or however it goes, like a cream to black.
Yeah.
And then I have one that I bought, a roving that I bought with it, to spin and do like an epic mashup. That's rainbow colors. But that's more than two colors, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to look
but I think that's a really fun one.
Yeah, it does look cool. I'm gonna have to go stash diving, or maybe I'll even card up my own gradient and spin that. That could be fun. Cool. So non-wrap crafts are accepted with prior approval.
Yeah, the needle crafts are accepted without approval.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm like jumping all over as I'm
reading this. I read it, so I can help. Okay, so next up we have charms, which is, and I'm going to say this wrong, so I apologize. Orchideus charm?
Sure.
Orchideus? I don't know. This month for your homework, we want you to channel the Orchideus charm using emeralds. For this assignment, we will craft in greens and other earth tones. I am down with that.
Love it.
100%. No, non-wrap crafts are accepted and no approval is needed. So I like green a lot. So this is a cool class assignment. Now I didn't actually read the classes very much. I read the assignment. So if you are wanting more background on any of these classes, you probably should go read them yourself.
We'll be more helpful next month.
We hope.
I like green too. I have green yarn that I can knit.
Like my, probably 3/4 of my stash in every form is green. Like yarn, fiber, spinning is all like greenish.
Mine's not that bad, but I do like green. So
mine is. So next up is it's your turn.
It's my turn. Defense against the dark arts. The opal necklace. For your homework this month, study the opal necklace in order to protect yourself from its deadly effects by crafting your own necklace or item to protect your neck, and or craft using jewel tones, opalescent yarn that changes color in the sunlight, or sparkling yarn. So you could use anything that has sparkles in it.
I like the sparkles. I think that was, the opal necklace that Draco tries to kill Albert with, but Katie Bell gets first, remember? That's the necklace we're talking about. That's a good one. You could, if you like crochet with wire, you could do that. You could make a necklace. That would be.
there's a bunch of cool, I don't know, necklaces or even cowls or scarves or whatever. I mean,
yeah.
To use. Or just jewel tones. Actually, what I'm spinning right now might work for that class.
That's cool. I'm a big fan of jewel tones because I like bright and dark. Yes. And I also like sparkles. And it makes me want to buy that yarn that changes colors in the sun. There is some. I've seen it.
We have a nail polish that does that.
I like anything like that or things that glow in the dark. Love it. It's the small things.
It is.
So next up is herbology. We are studying beverage plants, also known as tea. You are asked to craft something that represents that plant. It may be the color of the plant, the flowers, or the berries, or more a representation of one or more characteristics of the plant. A project with leaves, flowers, or one resembling the stem of the plant. You could also craft an item used for serving tea, such as a tea cozy, tea wallet, or cup cozy. Fourth option is to dye with tea bags. That could be fun. A bonus will be awarded for homework that includes a photo or drawing of the plant. Non-robbery crafts will be accepted if they fit the prompt, and prior approval is not required. So that could be fun. I'd like to see some people dyeing with tea. You know, like, cause how many times do you spill like coffee or tea on things and it dyes it and you can't get it up? Like, those are the hardest things to get up, so they would dye pretty nicely.
I've dyed with coffee before, but not tea.
Yeah, so I think the tea would be a lighter brown, maybe. But if you use, like, some of the herbal teas, like, that are redder, I wonder if they would be more of a red color. That could be fun. But, yeah, tea cozy. I think for this class, I have been wanting to make a slingshot cup cozy for probably a year or more because I lost my original that I made, and I've never gotten around to making another one. So maybe I'll make that for this class.
It's a good idea. I've been wanting, I wonder if I could call it like a tea. I've been wanting to make the kids earbud pouches, but sew them.
Oh, yeah.
With a zipper, you know, like a little whatever, so they can not rock their earbuds. So I'm wondering if I could make them and call them like tea pouches and put tea in them.
I think so. It's all in how you turn it in. So if you turn it in with tea inside, you're good to go.
Right. I'm thinking I might do that.
Good one.
All right. Let's see. I keep like, I'm sorry if the volume is a little wacky. History of magic. The Inca. Your assignment is the study of the Inca and the craft using mortarless architecture to make your kripu by incorporating fringe. Is that even right? Mortarless architecture and fiber crafts would mean making something constructed all in one piece. For example, make a seamless item or spin or dye a single ply yarn or chain plied yarn. See the FAQ for the first post for details. Okay.
Chain plied. I like chain plied.
I actually, and yeah, what I'm spinning right now would fit into that. Or yeah, making single yarn is fun. I haven't done that too much.
They talked about the structure in there, in the thing, but like I said, I just kind of, so I can't really tell you too much. You'll have to read that.
Yeah, well, you could make like a seamless, like a yoked cardigan.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
hat. If you could do that fast, which I cannot.
Well, like for a baby, maybe.
Oh, that's cool.
Not for yourself. Or pretty much anything.
See, that just shows how selfish of a knitter I am when I immediately think,
like, I can't.
If you could hit that fast. You like think about babies. Anyways, okay. New class, magical literature. So we are reading for May, The Tales of Beetle the Bard. So we're doing the heart story. So we're supposed to craft a heart or something containing one or more hearts, or craft something which is mostly red and or black. That's kind of a cool one too. So like I know that there's a bunch of dyers in the House Cup, and some of them dye like according to colors. But so to think like Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts, like a colorway that would encompass that, you could use to make whatever because it's going to be mostly red or black. So that's pretty cool.
It is. That's fun.
But I mean, that's like a super good, you know. And I know I've seen a lot of patterns with hearts, like those mittens. I've seen like actual hearts, like crocheted. Sky's the limit.
It is.
I've seen a real heart knitted.
I have too. They're fun looking.
Yeah. It makes you want to like have like a friend who's like teaches the heart, what's that called? Endocrine system or whatever it's called. The inside. A heart and be like, here, this is for your class.
Yes, that would be science.
Oh yeah, science. Well, like you don't really learn too much about the heart,
no,
until you're in like your specialty field, and usually if you're going to be a doctor or a nurse.
True. I think I remember doing it in biology too.
Which I am not, so I don't know these things. But anyway, go on, your turn.
That's right. Muggle studies natural dyes or colors found in food. Fun. Knitters, crocheters, and weavers make something with fiber that has been dyed using a natural dye or in a color commonly found in food, which could pretty much be anything.
Yeah.
Spinners, spinning yarn dyed with natural dye or a color commonly found in food. This is uncommon. Oh, if this is an uncommon food, we would appreciate a photo of that food. Dyers dye a skein of yarn or fiber with natural dye. Include what material you use to dye the yarn. Photos of the process are also appreciated.
I immediately thought of wanting to knit or spin something in the colors of an artichoke because it's green and then it goes down to that like deep green, almost purple color. If you look at a real, like an artichoke, like not the pickled ones that you get in the store.
When I worked at Stefano's, I had to cut them open, and those things, they leave like a nasty tar on you have to like cut off the top. But yes, they're pretty. Yeah, it goes like a green to a pinky purple. Yeah, it's pretty.
So I think that would be a cool color to spin or knit with. So that would be fun. Now, I didn't read, like I said, didn't read the classes, but they were basically talking about how Muggles have to work to cook and stuff, I think. From what I skimmed. And I could be totally off, so go read that and let me know, because, like I said, I did not read it. Yeah, I didn't. So, for potion, we're doing Draught of the Living Death. And they gave us the recipe. And then, fortunately, there's also an antidote called Wiggenweld potion. And the recipe for that is in the first post. It says, so fortunately, the antidote for this potion is the Wiggenweld potion. It is a healing potion with the power to awaken a person from a magically induced sleep. When making the potion, it goes through many color changes, starting off red, and once it's completed, green. The full recipe is in first one, like I said. For your homework, you're going to craft something inspired by the Draught of Living Death or its antidote. For example, craft something using one of the colors listed in the recipe, craft something inspired by one of the ingredients, or craft something where you would need to be wide awake or something that would make you sleepy. Bonus point if you grab a partner, one of you are making the poison and the other make the antidote. You're burning your partner and you're submission.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, that's fun. I think it would be cool to like dye a yarn the color changes of the potion.
That would be good.
So that was the last class. So now we'll go back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Do you have any mojo?
I do. I didn't write anything down. I didn't do show notes. Like I said, my computer's being sucky, and sometimes it takes about 15 minutes to pull up a new tab on the internet. I need to like take everything off and like clear it off and put it on an external hard drive. All that to say, I didn't have those show notes, but I finished the baby blanket.
Cool.
And I have to ship it out. I didn't block it. Do you think I need to block it?
No.
Big enough though, hey?
Yeah, that's cute.
I think it's super cute. I changed the pattern. I believe I added an extra section, like a whole extra section, so it would be a little bit wider.
Yeah.
And I also added garter stitch on the sides.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And I did garter stitch on well, that's hard to see, the dark color, on the edge. I think it just makes it have like a nice border.
Like a finished.
Yeah. Let's see. I use Knit Picks, the Mighty Stitch. It's a newer yarn. I don't have it here. I think it's 80% acrylic, 20% superwash. It's super soft. I like it. It knit up pretty well. It's a little fuzzy, like sometimes things would come off it, but nice, stitch definition.
So it's kind of like woolies, because isn't that acrylic wool too?
Yeah, but it is way softer than woolies. It's
That's
like
good.
Slippery, buttery
Like
soft.
woolies, to get the softness, you almost have to wash it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna send it though, because I made it for Dawn's friend, or Dawn asked me to make it, but she actually just texted me. She's like, "Is it gonna be done soon?" I'm like, "Actually, yeah. I just have to do a couple more rows and bind off." So I finished it last night. I'll hand it in for detention. What did I say? Oh, I only used 4 skeins of the Mighty Stitch.
Total or of each color?
Total.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 1 of each color. I had ordered 2 of each color, so I'm going to have to give Dawn some money back because she paid for the yarn. Because I wasn't sure how much I'd use, and I just overbought. It was from Knit Picks, so whatever. But, yeah. No, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out.
That's awesome. It looks really good. It makes me want like a big blanket like that.
Yeah. So it got old. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm done. But I wasn't, so I had to keep going.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah.
So I have mojo too.
Hey.
Well, almost mojo. So I finished my socks. I just have to sew in the end.
They're beautiful.
And I did get up to the green a little bit, but most of the green is left over, so I'm going to use it on my blanket if I ever sew in the ends on that and get started on that again, which I should just do for classes, I think. But yeah, so I used the toe-up socks with a difference sock pattern, and this is a Wandering Wool fiber yarn that she dyed it so that you knit from each end and you get the same sock, which it matches pretty well if you look. So
That would totally work for whatever class. I mean, if you knit them now, that yarn would work for that class.
Oh, I know. So, because I made them longer than I normally make, I increased. Like you can see the back here.
I think it looks pretty though.
How I increased. And then I did a 1x1 rib for about 3/4 of an inch for the top. So I just have to sew in the ends and take pictures and turn it in for detention. But they're finished. So, yay.
That's fun.
So, works in progress?
I don't have any knitting.
I do. I was, when I finished those, I immediately cast on another pair of socks. So, let me finish this row right here. So, I have toes, but this sock yarn is hand spun. I have toes. So, this is hand spun. Oops, I just threw the basket.
Whoopsies.
So, here's the hand spun. And this is what it was. It was called Ultra Socks Painted Desert. Like when I first started spinning, I bought this like roving, and this is what it was.
When did you spin that? A long time ago?
I don't know. It was in my stash, and I had pulled it out because I wanted to knit with my hand spun for a long time. So I finally pulled it out and I spun it up. I got 21 wraps per inch.
That's good.
And it's 474 yards. So that's pretty good. It's a superwash Cordale with 10% nylon. So
that's good sock yarn.
It's like a blue. It's like a teal, a dark teal, and a brown.
Let's say, is that gold?
Yeah,
brown.
But yeah, so it's knitting up pretty good.
Cool.
I'm using my ones and my toe-up socks with a difference pattern because I've practiced selling it. But yeah, so I figured I started it, and I probably won't finish it, but I have a lot of things downtime, and I wanted something I could carry around to do. And the bigger stuff just doesn't work. Like I debated like taking some cotton because I need some socks, not socks. I need some dishcloths, but socks are just easier to carry around. So
they are.
And since it's like hand spun, I'm just gonna knit a plain sock. I don't think I'm even gonna have it ripped. And I'm just gonna let the yarn tell the story. Even though it's not like self-striping or anything.
Sorry, sometimes those are the best kind of socks.
Yeah. Okay. That's all that I'm working on though, currently.
I have spinning.
Me too.
So you spin me right round. I just started a loop bat.
Oh, that's pretty.
I don't know if you can tell, but it's got sparkles out.
Oh, that will work for your sparkle class.
Yeah, it sparkles and jewel tones.
Yeah. Did you start it
today?
Yesterday? Just today.
Yep. So it'll work. It's a loop bat, a bullseye bump. I believe I was in a club, and that's where I came from it. But it's called Earth Spectrum. I cannot hold that card. There's Merino, Nylon, and Angelina. Okay. So that could be sock yarn. I'm spinning it pretty thin, and I plan on Navajo plying it.
That's about it.
That's the goal. But yeah. That's it.
So for spinning, I finally finished my epic mashup true 3-ply.
Yay.
I actually didn't count how many. I didn't even count. I like took it off and I didn't count it, so I have no idea. But it looks to be about worsted weight. See if I could show you the.
If I were you, I'd be yelling at you right now. I never count my reps per inch.
I know. I don't actually yell at you. I just say. Normally, I like to know, but I've had a lot on my mind, so I didn't like.
It's okay.
Let's see if I can put it. So it looks pretty cool.
I like it.
And then, so that was, I did each color free. Like I had a green, and then I had a purple, and then I spun one. So I split them all in half, or a third, and then I put the green by itself and the purple by itself, and then I did like a fractal type of thing with them together.
Yeah.
Like the purple and green, purple and green, purple and green. So that's how it turned out. And then I had leftover green and purple, so I did just a 2-ply because I ran out of the 1-ply. So then I had a 2-ply, and I don't know how much I have left of that either. But it's just a 2-ply. So I have 2 skeins.
Sweet.
I can't tell you how much yardage, but it was about probably 6 or 8 ounces of fiber total. But yeah, I finished it. So my wheel is empty. I can actually spin on it.
That's exciting. Are you going to start something for class?
I don't know. I might. I do miss spinning. I like spinning a lot.
Spinning is nice.
So yeah.
I haven't spun in a while, so it feels good.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So I haven't been doing much else than sewing because I'm always sewing. I sewed up. I had a bunch of special orders that I tried to finish. I have like one more I need to finish, and I also finished fat fiber. I don't know if you guys know this, but fat fiber was run by a lady who gave it up, and another person took over the business. So it's still around, which is a sampler box that you can buy and try different independent shops, which I joined because I wanted to get samples out there. But it's kind of hard to do samples where they normally are like, 10 yards of a stock yarn or whatever. You can't really send a sample of a bag.
Right.
Like you have to actually send something. So normally I'll do like stitch markers or mini bags. This time I did key fobs, and they were space. Space is the theme, so I had like a bunch of space fabric that I used, and then I ran out before I got to the 50. You only have to do 20, but if you do 50, you get a contributors box, and I wanted a box, so I did 50. So then I went through my stash, and I found some like Star Wars or Star Trek fabric that's too small to make into anything but a key fob. So I made those, and I sent those in. And then I also, Chris is the name of the lady who took over the fat fiber. She started a new thing called Fat Collaboration, where a bunch of different fat fiber contributors work together to make like a kit. So we have a team, and our team was Red Nebula. So I sewed little mini box bags. I found this like red patterned batik, and then I put space inside, the space pattern inside for a mini box bag. And there people dyed yarn, and I think there was a pattern, and I think there might have been stitch markers too. And then you can buy a kit with all of that. Actually, I think there might have been needles too. So she has that available. I think it hasn't gone on sale yet. I think it's going to go on sale. But so that I made 15 of those and sent them in. So it's pretty cool. This will be my second collaboration. The first collaboration I made work in progress bags, like medium ones. So it went with the peacock colorway, like dual tone. And people dyed yarn, and there was a pattern and stuff. So it's been pretty fun. But it's like people can buy that a kit of like full-size items from fat contributors.
Right. That's cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. But to like get in on it, you have to have contributed within the past 6 months or whatever. And I'm like the cheap sort, not cheap, frugal. So if I'm going to be shipping stuff to her, I'm going to ship samples to her at the same time. So that's why, and I can't do samples every month. Like I said, sewing and bags are a little harder to do every month. At least I found. So I do it every other month or every 3 months usually. So, but if you have your own indie shop and you want to join Fat Fiber, send me a message and I will hook you up because I really like it, and you know, it's nice to get samples in here. So, but yeah, so that's what I've been sewing lately. Special orders, and I'm getting ready for Waynesburg Sheep and Fiber Festival, which is in May 20th and or 21st and 22nd. So I've been sewing fabric. I've been sewing bags and stuff for that. So just getting ready for the next show. Type of thing. You know, keep it busy.
It's cool. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Next up is binging. So we got a comment about spoilers. So we're talking about binging, and we're going to talk about the books we've read, the TV shows we've watched or are watching. So we try not to spoil them, but it can happen. Most of the time, I'm a season behind, so that's not spoiling anymore because it's that slow. The only thing I'm current on is The Walking Dead. So, but just be aware that if you don't want to hear it, you might want to skip ahead to randomness.
Yeah, it should be a few minutes.
Yeah. So
at the most.
Binging.
Okay.
I read the whole Mercy Thompson series and Alpha and Omega. Like I went in order, like she has on her website.
Okay.
And listened to, which is good. And it was so good to listen to them. I really needed.
Did you even listen to the ones in the Shifting Shadows?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I skipped over some of them. Like I remember Silver, and I remember the one about Thomas Howe. So I kind of skipped over him because I don't really care too much. Like I like him, but I didn't care too much, but I think I need to go back and listen to it again. But yeah, so I listened to them all, and yeah, because I like skip, because it goes by chapter when you're audiobook, and so I skipped to find the correct story for in order. So it was really fun. So then I finally, like yesterday, went and renewed my Audible membership and got the last Mercy Thompson book that just released. It's called Fire Touch.
I'm so jealous.
It's so good. Which is also why I didn't read any of the classes, because I was like, oh, I'll just skim and continue to listen to this book. I'm not even kidding. And it's like super good. But Thomas Howe's in it, so I need to go back and listen to his original story again.
Who is he now? I forget.
He's the Asian vampire from San Francisco.
Okay, I remember him now.
But because I remember when I first read it, I was like, who's this guy? And then after rereading the series, and I realized I hadn't read the 8th book more than twice, and I still cannot stand Christy. I can't stand her.
I want to read her neck.
Turn her face, and Mary Jo. I want to punch her face. But finally, and it was like the first time I read that book was so hard for me to read because I had such a hard time reading it. And then reading it the second time, it wasn't as bad because I got more insight and I wasn't so upset about it. And then this third time that I read it, because this would be the third time I read it, I was like, oh, and you see different stuff.
Well, at first you just hate them.
Yeah.
But then you realize, they're part of the pack or family or whatever, so that you can't just kick them out or anything.
Yeah, and you are gonna want to read Fire Touch because it's so good. Like
Don't tell me anything about it.
I'm maybe like halfway through it, maybe a fourth of the way through it, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm so jealous. I have to
I'm
look.
halfway
I
through it.
renewed the book, the actual book, at the library, so I'm gonna have to see.
I saw it at Walmart, but I'm like, I will not have time to read it, so I need to do the Audible thing. And it was cheaper to do Audible and get your credit than to buy the actual hardback book.
I'll just get it from the library, and read it. I think maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, super good. I'm not actually currently watching anything because
I am.
I haven't. I'm still doing Daredevil and all that stuff, but I actually haven't had time to sit down and watch TV. I've been sewing a whole lot. Which is why I threw all the books.
we are current on Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. The new one.
Yeah.
How do you like it? Like, I didn't really like the first season.
I thought it was interesting and everything. So for those of you who don't, it's like how, the walkers came to be in like the first part of like the zombie apocalypse. Whereas The Walking Dead, Rick wakes up in the middle of it and it's like bam in your face. So it's interesting and it makes you think like, how would you react to certain situations? I don't know. It's hard.
Because you have to go from like not killing people to like killing these people, even though they're trying to eat you. You have to go from that to being okay with, and they still are humanoid.
It's a big thing. Or like in or even in the first season, like you have to choose if you're gonna trust people or if you're gonna like help others or that you don't even know that are straight. Like it's like, what would you do? Can you trust people? Like,
yeah, and pretty much everyone is like PTSD and living
crazy.
And getting.
It's pretty good. It's starting to get a little intense. I think it's like the 4th episode in now, maybe.
I might have to see if I can watch it.
It's gotten better. Except first I was like, I'm
not really like attached to any of the characters. I think is the problem.
No, but there is a major thing that happened in this one. But Nick, I swear he's like my favorite.
I liked him from the beginning though too.
I did too. But he's pretty funny and awesome. So I won't spoil anything, obviously, but yeah, it's I like it. It's good. Let's see. I also finished catching up with my computer's frozen. I hope this is recording well. iZombie.
Oh,
so I'm current on that. Like it was a season finale type thing, and they're gonna have to they're changing. Not the way it ended. Like it's gonna be a big difference.
Well, I think they hit it up on Netflix soon because
I want to tell you stuff, but it will totally spoil it, so I can't. Yeah. But I love that show to pieces. Like it's just great. I like it.
Like I saw the first season at Walmart, and I almost bought the whole season because I like it that much. And I don't buy a lot of seasons of stuff.
It's just funny, but like still a show you can watch. I don't know. And it's not like gross zombie. It's not The Walking Dead zombie. It's like
so
good. I love how so every episode she has to like cook her brains and like she makes it into some gourmet type of meal. I think that's like one of my favorite parts.
Or she like throws it and it looks like jelly, like a gummy worm on stuff. It's so gross.
It's gross, but I think it's hilarious because she's always like making some like gourmet thing, like
it's funny,
like a BLT sandwich, or she like I don't know. It's funny. I laugh at that. I'm like, what is she gonna make today? She made sushi one time. It was great. But yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know if I said this last time, but I'm caught up on the originals and the Vampire Diaries too.
Oh, I am not.
Though actually, I think I have one episode that just showed up, so like the season must have just started again. But yeah, I still have like the 100 to watch and Arrow and Flash. Those are my next things that I need to conquer. That I have like waiting on the DVR. We're also watching Vikings currently. Like
I wish that was on.
We watch that weekly. So it kind of made me sad how they went. I think that's in the third season, the current season. But it's good. Ish. I think that's it though.
So, Shadowhunters, you're still watching it?
It ended.
Oh, what? And I think we talked about this last time, but yeah. Did you like it, or you just...
It was okay. I heard they got re-upped for another season. To me, it kind of seemed... I don't know what I can compare it to, but I have a feeling it's going to suck.
Okay.
Like, it's not going to be...
I watched, like, the first 2, maybe, episodes, and I just couldn't get into it, because it was, like, really close to the book, but also close to the... Not close, but it was, like, followed the book/movie.
And it does. It ends with, like... I mean, this... If you've read the book, it's not a spoiler. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen. But it ends with Jace, like, going off with Valentine.
Right.
On a boat. Which... So, it's close to the book.
But that's different, because he didn't go on a boat.
He was off on a boat.
Did he go on a boat?
Yeah, that's where Valentine was hiding out. But that was in, like, the third book, maybe? Or the second book?
I don't remember.
Either.
No, the end of the first book, he goes off with his... You find out that they're brother and sister, and then he goes with
Well,
them.
he's in that one,
It's been a while since I've read those books.
In the first book, Valentine takes him, and that's when he finds out he's his dad.
Oh, that's right.
And he's at that, like, I don't want to say sanitarium. That's not it at all, but, like, a crazy place. Like, an old, rundown...
Yeah. Did they introduce her real brother?
No.
Yet? That's from the second book, so they must be doing the season.
They're like, yeah, combining things. So he didn't do that whole thing, but, like, they did find out he's, you know, that's his father.
Yeah. And
they're siblings. Which that annoys me to begin with, because I never believed it. Whatever. But, like, he chooses to go off with him and goes on whatever. And he has the, like, it's sort of following the books, but not, I don't know.
Which, you know, that's what they do. Because, I remember we talked about this, because I had problems with Vampire Diaries, so I just disregarded the books, because they're the third books.
Like, that's what, like, it's okay, and, like, I like that they're putting it to, screen, because when you read a book and you like them, like, you always, like, envision them being, like, you think, oh, this would be a cool show, or a movie, you know, like, you always think that, like, the Mercy Thompsons.
Yeah, but they would change it so much,
it would make it
suck.
I
couldn't watch it.
Right. So then,
like,
I'm watching it because I wanted it, but, like, it's not exactly what you wanted, and it's not, so, I don't know. I'll watch it, but it's not, like, my favorite show or anything.
Yeah.
What else? Not much. Yeah. I think I'm just rambling now. Do we have random randomness?
Random randomness. I forgot to talk about it last week, but look at my hair.
I know. My hair's longer than you. It hasn't happened in, like, forever. I need to cut mine off, though. I have such bad split ends. Yours is super cute.
So I went and got it cut, and I donated it was about 10 inches, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 12, to children with hair loss. So I donated it.
That's awesome.
Then, you know, I found, like, I guess as I get older, it doesn't curl as much. Or maybe it's just the stuff I use relaxes it. Because I'm using the same stuff I used when it was longer. just to hold it so it wouldn't frizz. So if I play with my hair too much, it kind of goes straight.
I have that happen to me. But your hair's always been curlier than mine.
Oh, yeah.
Like
but
tighter
I found
curls.
if I put the stuff in and then I just do a little bit of the curling spray and scrunch it, it looks good for the rest of the day. So that's what I've been doing. But yeah, so I got my hair cut. I forgot to talk about it. So then, right after I got my hair cut, I went to the doctor and had a really bad diagnosis, which then Andy went and got me he got me a cake, and I told him he should have had them put "sorry you're sick" on it because it just made me laugh. But he got me a cake, and he got me this little Draco guy.
So cute.
Like when we were gone to the Steel City Fire Festival. So it's Draco. He's in his Quidditch uniform with his Nimbus. But when I took it out, the Nimbus fell off, so I had to glue it. You can't really tell, but I had to glue it.
He looks good.
But he's cool. He hangs out with Hagrid, the 10th Doctor, and Severus, and my little ponies. I have a few ponies up there.
I need some of those. I don't have any of those.
He's super cool.
I know.
He's hanging out with me today. But yeah, no, so I went to the doctor it was about a month ago, and I was having like woman problems, and they did a biopsy, and it came back as endometrial cancer. So Jessica knows this, but no one else. I mean, I told like some people. So then yesterday we had to go to Pittsburgh and talk to women's health oncologist, and he said that the hospital there, which is McGee, I don't remember. They looked at the test, and they, because you always, when you get a diagnosis like that, you always get a second opinion, or third, because he was kind of the third opinion. They looked at the test, and they decided it's not actually cancer, it's precancerous, which is still serious, but it's better. Like, with it being cancer, they were worried it would have spread to my ovaries or like my colon. And for it being precancerous, they are more confident that the treatment will not be as harsh, I guess, but it will be more effective. So basically, I have to get a hysterectomy, which really kind of sucks being 37 and stuff, but if it means I can live longer, that's fine with me. And the fact that it won't like spread to anywhere else is also very awesome. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I've had like a pretty crazy bad month, which is another reason why we didn't podcast very much, because like our morale was down, I think, all over. Yeah. And this time of year just kind of crappy. Yeah. So yeah, but it was like good news, like not the best, but I mean.
All right. Sorry about that.
So that cut us off, but yeah, so I was just saying it is what it is, and you have to deal with what you're given, kind of thing. Yeah. But like the results were better than what I was prepared myself for. Right. My husband was very excited that it wasn't as bad as I was thinking, because I immediately went to doom and gloom and everything was bad. So this is, good. Yeah. But, yeah, that's all that's going on in my life. Sorry to bring the podcast down. But anything going on with you guys, besides signing up for the House Cup again?
No. Gabe had his birthday yesterday.
I know.
He's 13. Not much though. We're just doing.
I have to make. Okay, I've been saying this for probably a year now. I need to make a t-shirt rug. I actually have to do it now because the one in our bathroom, the bath mat in our bathroom, like that I crocheted, like totally fell apart.
Oh.
Like, because it's a bathroom, so when I clean it, I wash it. I do like a pre-rinse with bleach, so it like kills all the germs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was white, so it didn't matter. But it like disintegrated and fell apart. There was like holes everywhere. So I need to make another. I had crocheted that one, so I need to make. I was gonna weave one with those T-shirts that we have.
You should.
So that's something I need to like do this month, hopefully, because Andy was asking me, "Where'd that other bath mat go?" I'm like, "Well, it fell apart, so I threw it away." It's like, oh. So I need to actually get off my butt and do it. Like, pull out my loom and do it. Oh, also, I'm going to Marin Sheepa Bowl next week.
I'm so jealous.
And I'm going to look for a mill because I have all those fleeces that I washed. And I was going to process them on my drum carder, but that's not going to happen. It's been 2 years. It's not going to happen. I've accepted that. And so I'm going to find a mill that I can get them to process it into roving, and then I can spin all my fleeces. If you guys have any suggestions of ones that you like, it would be really cool if it's one that's local-ish, like within 4 or 5 hours that we can drive and tour, and I can just like visit, because that's kind of cool. But if not, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if you have any experience with any mills that you've had your fleeces processed, please let me know. Like, start a thread in our group and just talk about it, because I just want to know your experience with different mills.
I did that once around here with the first fleeces that I've ever washed. But the problem with it was a big mill. Like, I think they do like certain it's like a huge. It was like almost as big as this room, the Carter. Like, it was giant.
Uh-huh.
And they do certain colors at a time. So like they were doing different colors, and mine were just white. So it had to wait like a few months before they actually, because they clean it off, and then they do, white. But they were my Romney fleece. I had 4 garbage bags full of like fiber that I got carted up. But it turned out.
Well, I figure there has to be people who do that for their job, like the indie dyers that I've met. Like, I've sent a few messages to people because, and they make money, like they dye the roving, so it has to be cheap enough that they can make money.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it to make money. I just want it to spin for myself. So.
Right. No, but if you don't find any around you, you could always bring it here sometime and then drop it off there, and then I bet they could just ship it to you when it's done.
Yeah, well, like, I was thinking if it's close enough.
Right. I mean, you want to do that first. Because that would,
And there should be some around. I mean, I live in Pennsylvania, so there should be some around here.
You can always just Google.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of like wanting people's like testimonies, if that makes sense.
Right, to see if they've done a good job or not.
Yeah.
I hear you. I think I still have a fleece to wash, now that you're talking about that I got last year.
I could get one this weekend. But I don't know if the 7 I have in the basement are good. I mean, they're good, but I mean, I guess one of the ladies that goes to the preschool was talking to Andy. They have like a couple of sheep, and they just throw the fleece away.
What kind of sheep do they have?
I don't know. So they talked to Andy and his secretary, Mrs. Johnson, and I'm gonna get fleece now, like, for the rest of my life.
If it's not a good breed, though, you might not want it.
She told me it, and I looked it up, and it's like, it is a meat sheep, but they also use the fleece. I forget what the breed was. Okay. Like, I looked it up on my fleece and fiber book, and the micron count was close to, I think it was close to merino, maybe.
That's cool.
Not super soft, but not super rough either. Or maybe it was close to Floridale. I forget. It was like around there, but it's like people like, because it is primarily raised for food, they don't generally look at the fleece.
Right.
But it was in the book, so I was like, oh, cool. I forget what he said. And I think I texted him the picture of it, but I don't remember.
That's cool, though.
Or my phone went. Oh, here it is. So, yeah, I actually don't need to get a fleece at Maryland Sheep and Wool, but I like looking at the fleeces.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Are we done randoming? Yeah.
I was just looking for that fleece sheet.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. Here it is. Oh, it's a Tunis.
I think I've heard of that.
American Tunis. It says in the book, it said it has a very desirable fleece that can be used for many purposes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's free, it doesn't hurt to try, anyways.
I know, right? So, yeah. But, yeah, so we're just talking here,
All right. This will probably be in 2 sections. But yeah, have a good week. Hopefully we'll see you shortly.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.